Hey basketball fans, Harrison Graham here on Chat Sports, bringing you the latest around the NBA, the latest news and the latest rumors as well. So stay tuned because there is a lot coming up. Bradley Beal trade rumors continue to circulate. Let's talk about it here on today's show. He is reportedly weighing whether or not to request a trade, and this is a fluctuating situation because really he's got to make a decision before Thursday night because Washington needs to know, okay, do we need to trade Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook? And Beal's obviously the focus here because they would like to know that before the draft so they could try and get some draft capital for said draft. That would be very helpful for them. He's been pretty loyal to Washington, but to me, I think it's time. I think it's time for Bradley Beal to ask out of Washington. He's tried to make it work. He tried with John Wall. They had a couple of decent teams several years ago. Wall obviously had some injuries. The Achilles killed him. He obviously moved on this past year. They brought in Russell Westbrook. They went on an okay run to at least make the playoffs, but you're not winning a title with Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook and a bunch of, just okay role players. They need a lot more, and they don't really have cap space to get a lot more, so he should ask out of Washington. Bradley Beal is in the prime of his career at 28 years old. He was second in the NBA in scoring last year at just under 31 points per game. He can absolutely fill up the stat sheet as a scorer, and he can dish out assists as well. Plays okay defense. He's a much better shooter than that three-point percentage would suggest. I believe that Bradley Beal will have tons of suitors, and I think the Wizards could get a lot for him in a trade, so I think it makes sense for both sides. So what do you guys think? Should Bradley Beal request a trade? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Get your votes in down in the comment section. Should the Wizards superstar ask out? Y for yes or N for no. Now, let's get to the potential Beal suitors. This is Kyle Lowry. This is what we call a tease in this business. We'll talk Kyle Lowry in a minute. Potential Bradley Beal fits: Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks, Golden State Warriors, the Miami Heat, the Sixers, and those are just the ones that have been mentioned. I guarantee you if he publicly requests a trade, you can double if not triple that list. I think a lot of the league will be intrigued in bringing Bradley Beal on board, and they should be because this is a premier scorer who offers a lot on the offensive side of the basketball, and that is how you win today. You got to be able to score points. Sure, you got to play defense as well, but if you got guys who can give you 30 points on any given night like Bradley Beal can, that goes a very long way, and some of those teams, like Dallas in particular, could use a secondary scorer next to Luka Doncic. Where will Bradley Beal play next season? Get your votes in down in the comment section. Where will he be playing? Will it be the Wizards? Will it be Dallas, Golden State, one of these other teams? What do you guys think? Go ahead and let me know right now. Now, the NBA draft is just 3 days away. On Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern. We will be live here on Chat Sports, so don't miss any of it. Myself, Chase Sr., everybody here at Chat Sports, we're already preparing, getting you guys ready for draft night because we're going to have all the analysis, all the breakdowns of every single pick that comes through. So subscribe, turn on those notifications, and join us Thursday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. 8 o'clock is when the draft will actually start. It's youtube.com/chatsportstv. Now let's talk Kyle Lowry, the veteran point guard. Is he going to get the bag? Well, Wojnarowski, ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, reports that he could command $25 to $30 million per year in free agency, which is very, very interesting because the guy is 35 years old. Now, he's going to have suitors. He's still a very good player, but man, when I read that, I was like, $30 million per year for Kyle Lowry? Didn't see that coming. These are some of the teams that have been linked to the veteran point guard: the Dallas Mavericks, the LA Lakers, the Miami Heat, the Pelicans, the Sixers. I mean, the Sixers and Lakers, I think, have trade regret from the deadline when they didn't trade for Kyle Lowry, for the second half of the season and a playoff push. He obviously offers quite a bit. He can score, he can defend, he can play off guard, he can run point guard, and he's got the championship pedigree. He's won a title as a Robin up in Toronto next to Kawhi Leonard. He brings a lot to the table to an NBA franchise, so I understand why he's going to cost a lot. I just didn't know it would be that much. What do you guys think is the best fit for Kyle Lowry? Get your votes in down in the comment section. Which team makes the most sense for the 35-year-old point guard? Now, obviously, he can fit just about anywhere. Like I said, he can score, he can play point, he can play the two-guard. He's a good defender despite being just 6 feet. He's always been tenacious on that side of the ball, and he's a good leader. He's a character guy. He knows how to win, and he's won for a very, very long time. Took a while to break through deep in the playoffs, but he proved he could do that a couple of years ago, and they had a nice run the year after Kawhi Leonard left as well. Kyle Lowry is the definition of a culture guy, and he's still really good at basketball as well. So he might get the bag, man. I could see someone giving him like 2 years, $55 million, 3 years, $80 million. We'll see what happens. Free agency starts on August 2nd. Let's talk a little draft now. The Houston Rockets, could they be trading up to the number 1 pick? Shams Charania reports that Houston is, quote, aggressively pursuing the number 1 pick in this year's draft. Now, obviously, the Rockets have the number 2 pick. They were hoping to get that top pick when they had tied for the best lottery odds, but the ping pong balls did not bounce their way. They're slated to pick at number 2, and of course, Cade Cunningham is the expected number 1 pick. Everyone believes that that's why Houston's trying to move up to select the guard/forward out of Oklahoma State. Now, the Rockets need someone to be the face of their next era of basketball. They need newfound hope because no one on their current roster gives you that. Sure, you've got a couple of decent pieces on this roster moving forward. A Christian Wood is a nice player, but that's not like a face of the franchise type. Cade Cunningham can be that new era guy for Houston. He's a Southern guy. He played in the Big 12 at Oklahoma State. Good scorer. He can shoot it from deep. He can get to the rack. He can play point guard. His skill set is similar to Luka Doncic. I don't think he's got that type of ceiling, but he's a 6'7" point guard that can shoot and dish very well. Like that's very hard to find even in today's NBA. He offers a ton. So if you can move up and go get this guy for not just an incredible haul, because you're only moving up from number 2 to number 1, that might be worth it if you are the Houston Rockets. Again, they need to send their fan base some newfound hope because obviously things did not work out at the end there with James Harden, Russell Westbrook, and the boys as they blew the entire thing up this past season. Who will be the best player in this year's NBA draft? What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comments. I think it's Cade Cunningham. I know there's been some Jalen Green, Evan Mosley buzz, the kid out of Gonzaga, Jalen Suggs as well, but I'm team Cade Cunningham. I think he is the best player in this year's NBA draft. Kawhi Leonard talk, it wouldn't be NBA now if it wasn't. It's that time of year. Is he going to go back to the Clippers? Well, Adrian Wojnarowski expects Kawhi to opt out and re-sign with LA. Now, rumors have been rampant. He doesn't like the doctor because he misdiagnosed his knee injury in the playoffs. But Woj maintains, while several other teams will have interest, and maybe Kawhi will take some visits, that he's heard nothing to indicate that he's going to leave LA other than he's going to opt out and re-sign on a new deal. Quote, I've gotten no indication that Kawhi Leonard is interested in doing anything but re-signing with the Clippers. Now, I want to throw this caveat in here. Kawhi Leonard is a weird guy. The dude's a weirdo. I don't think anybody knows for sure what he's going to do. I was about 3 months on the job when Kawhi signed with LA and it got announced at 2 a.m. like a week into free agency along with the Paul George trade. Only Kawhi would break news of where he's signing at 2 a.m. Like that's just the type of guy he is. So I think my point is I don't think we can say with 100% certainty what he's going to do. I think the Clippers are the team he'll probably most likely sign with because he worked so hard to get to LA to get a bolt after 2 years and coming off a year where they made the Western Conference Finals. Had he not gotten hurt, maybe they're NBA champions. I think it makes sense to run it back out west if you're Kawhi. Remember when he was with the Spurs and he demanded that trade for that entire year and he was like, I want to go to LA, And Popovich was like, nope, sending you to Toronto, wins a title there, finally gets to choose where he can go in free agency. He's going to leave after 2 years? I mean, it would kind of be on brand for Kawhi Leonard, but I do think it makes sense for him to go back to the Clippers. But even with Woj saying he's heard nothing to indicate anything else will happen, I think that's because Kawhi is very tight-lipped, and it's very hard to know what's going on in that dude's brain. So what do you guys think? Where will Kawhi play this next season? Type C for the Clippers, or you can type O for any other team. If you want to be above and beyond, pick another team. Get your votes in and let us know in the comments. We did have a trade go down, so let's break it down here on NBA Now. The Grizzlies and the Pelicans come together, and there's a lot of moving parts, so stay with us here. Steven Adams and Eric Bledsoe go from the Pelicans to the Grizzlies, along with the number 10 overall pick, the number 40 overall pick, both this year, and a 2022 protected first-round pick. The Pelicans receive Jonas Valanciunas, who had a great year this year for the Grizzlies, number 17 overall this year, and number 51 overall this year as well. So kind of our first big draft trade to go down. I'm sure we'll see a few of these sprinkled out over the next couple of days before Thursday night's NBA draft. So get your votes in. Who won the trade? The Pelicans or the Grizzlies? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section. I like this for the Grizzlies. Sure, Valanciunas is a nice player, but you get a higher first-round pick this year. You get a future first-round pick. Get more young assets next to Ja Morant moving forward. I like this for Memphis quite a bit, but let us know what you guys think down in the comment section.